What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that instant basketball analysis on that analysis playground on YouTube, exclusively on there forever. And the Miami Heat, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks 112 to 105. It did look like the Bucks was a little mad that they lost this one. They felt like this is a game that we should be able to win, especially with all the guys that's out for Miami. But Miami wins the season series also 2-1. Milwaukee goes to 27 and 38 and 12 and 20 on the road. It's looking like their play-in hopes is gone. They haven't been winning games that they needed to win. And even if they go on a win streak, it's going to have to be a long one. And that doesn't look possible by the way they've been playing, but you never know. The Heat, 38 and 29, 23 and 11 at home. Miami won the first quarter 31 to 21, good start. Then they lost the second quarter 30 to 28, and then it was 26 to 26 in the third. And the Bucks won the fourth quarter 28 to 27, but that wasn't enough to be able to win the game. Although it was really close, a 2-point game later in the fourth quarter, Miami was able to make all the shots to be able to win it, while the Bucks made a couple, but it wasn't enough or consistent enough to be able to pull off the upset after trailing. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 29 minutes, 31 points. That was the most on the team. His starting lineup didn't give him much when it comes to the offensive end of the basketball game or in general. Giannis went 12 of 24 from the field, did a good job driving, did a good job of moving, and did a good job of just finishing. And that's what he's going to do. And he did it at a high level. Nobody can stop him in this one. He went 0-2 from 3, though. You'll prefer him to take those. He's not the greatest three-point shooter. And then he also went 7 of 11 from the free throw line. He only had 6 rebounds in this one. He did get 3 assists and 3 turnovers and still in the block. He also had 2 personal fouls and was a -8 and plus minus. He was one of them players that it seemed like he was in disbelief that they ended up letting this one go, knowing how important this win would have been if they was able to shift that last gear into being able to get it done on both ends of the court, which they just couldn't do. Kyle Kuzma played 20 minutes, but he only had 5 points. He went 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. It wasn't meant to be in this one for him. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. He did have 2 steals, 1 offensive rebound, 4 personal fouls, and was a -10 and plus minus. Zhang played 14 minutes. He couldn't make a basket. He went 0-2 from the field. He did get 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, and was a -24 and plus minus. Miles Turner smacked a 3, and then he hit a shot by the basket. But he only finished with 7 points in 22 minutes. He went 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He only grabbed 4 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He had 1 turnover. He had 1 block. He had 1 personal foul and was a -16 in plus minus. Kevin Porter Jr., 28 minutes. He had 6 points. He went 3 of 8 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. He had 7 rebounds. That was the most on the team. And he also had 5 assists. That ended up being real good, too. Then he had 3 steals. That was the most on the team. And he had 3 turnovers. It was good to have him back, but he didn't really dominate this one or even have a really good game when it came to scoring the basketball. He did other things real well, but they needed him to get buckets, too. 1 offensive board, 4 personal fouls, and a -12 and plus minus. Torian Prince, 15 minutes. He had 8 points. He went 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. It's good to have him back. And, of course, he's a threat from deep. And he can also score real well if you give him some good angles or in transition. He had 1 rebound in the steal, 3 personal fouls, and was a +10 and plus minus. Bobby Portis, 26 minutes, 19 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He was hitting the mid ranges. He was able to hit a couple threes. He grabbed a good amount of rebounds while he was out there. He did get an assist. He did get a steal. He also had 4 personal fouls, which was a lot for 26 minutes, but that was probably the worst thing he did. And then it was a +8 and plus minus. And then Jericho Sims finished with relentlessness, strength. He had 7 points and went 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He had 4 boards and 2 assists, no turnovers, 2 personal fouls, and was a +2 and plus minus. AJ Green, 15 minutes, 3 points. He made a 3, missed a 3, had 2 assists, 1 turnover, and a personal foul, and was a +5 and plus minus. Cam Thomas, 16 minutes, 3 points. He went 1 of 3 from the field. He missed his only 3-point shot. He also went 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had a rebound and a steal. two personal fouls, and was a +1 and plus minus. And Ryan Rollins didn't start. He came off the bench and gave him a good showing. He went 3 of 3 from. He played 33 minutes and had 16 points. He went 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 10 assists, double double for him. And they needed everything he gave them, unless this probably would have been a blowout. But he did have 5 rebounds and 3 turnovers and a steal. And then he did also get 5 personal fouls, but it didn't matter because he played a good amount of minutes and had a good impact on this one when he was out there. And he did have an offensive rebound and was a +9 and plus minus. And then you look at the Heat. They had some troubles with the Bucks, but they was able to put them away before the game was over, and they created a lot of distance, even when the Bucks was playing some good basketball in the end of the game. But Bam Adebayo, 35 minutes, 21 points. He went 6 of 20 from the field. He took some normal looks that he likes to get. Some shots he was just trying to find a way to get and ones, and he was trying to shoot some jump shots, and it just didn't work out for him a lot in this one. He did also miss every single three that he took. He finished 0 of 5 from 3. He did eat a lot at the free throw line. He went 9 to 13, and they needed it because they needed offense and they needed somebody to put, some numbers on the board. He did have 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal. He had 4 offensive rebounds, 1 personal foul, and was a +11 and plus minus. Khalil Ware, 28 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 13 rebounds. That ended up being the most on the team, and they needed every single board that he grabbed in this one. And then on top of that, he just missed a lot of shots that you thought he would make. Just wasn't his night offensively. He did have an assist, 2 turnovers, and a block, 3 offensive boards, but he still had 10 that was defensive, which is good. And it was a +11 and plus minus. Davion Mitchell was hitting the wide open shots. The Bucks had some collapses and some miscommunications that allowed him to get open. And then he was able to go 3 of 5 from 3 and 5 of 9 from the field for 13 points. He did have 5 rebounds and 5 assists. He's always looking for the pass too. So if you give him a good look or you close out too hard or you're not paying attention to him, he always does make the right decision, even if that's scoring or passing. He had 1 steal, 4 personal fouls, and 1 offensive board, was a +13 and plus minus. Pelly Larson was the biggest difference maker for the Heat. In 38 minutes, he gave you 28. Nobody would think he would get that. You don't ever know what's going to happen in the NBA. You never know what's going to happen. You didn't think Bam was going to get 83. And now Perry Larson had a really good game that they needed from him. He went 9 of 14 from the field. That's really good. That's high efficiency. 2 of 3 from 3. And even went 8 of 8 from the free throw line. He had 6 rebounds. He had 6 assists. He had 1 turnover. He had 1 steal. 1 personal foul and a +13 and plus minus. Yaka Chonis, 35 minutes, 18 points. 6 of 12 from the field, 5 of 11 from 3. He made his only free throw. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, a steal and a block. 1 offensive board, 1 personal foul, and a +18 and plus minus. Fontecchio, 15 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 offensive board, 1 personal foul, and a -15 and plus minus. Myron Gardner, 9 minutes, he made a wide open 3. That was his only look. But he did have 4 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, and a -4 and plus minus. Jaime Jaquez took a healthy amount of shots, but he only went 2 of 11 from the field, so he didn't make much of them. And then he also shot 5 threes and missed all of them. You need big performances from him, and they didn't get it scoring-wise, but he did get 4 rebounds and 7 assists. And then he did make all of his free throws, and he had no turnovers. He did have 3 personal fouls and 2 offensive boards, and he was a -6 and plus minus. And some of his shots is like, I wasn't mad that he was taking them. It was just those shots he couldn't convert on, and it can be that way. You're taking good looks. It just sometimes you just may not have the touch, you may not have the rhythm, and you just miss them. Drew Smith, 21 minutes, 9 points. That was the most points off the bench. He also was 4 of 7 from the field. He did miss his only 3. He did go 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers, 2 offensive boards, 1 personal foul, and a -6. And plus minus in the Heat, 41% from the field is what they shot, and the Bucks shot 49%, which was way better than the Heat. And the Heat also took more shots by 9. And the Bucks still lost this one because the Heat also shot 34% from 3, but they shot 41 attempts, and the Bucks shot 26 attempts. They only shot 35%, which was still better than the Heat. And then the Heat also took 27 free throws. They made it at 81%. The Bucks took 19. They made it at 74%. But the biggest thing that hurted the Bucks was the 15 offensive rebounds, while they only got 3. The Bucks got out rebounded 53-36. They both had 26 assists, 26 assists. They 11 turnovers for the Heat, 14 for the Bucks. 4 steals for the Heat, 10 for the Bucks. 2 blocks for the Heat, 2 for the Bucks. And then 38 defensive rebounds for the Heat, 33 for the Bucks. 14 personal fouls for the Heat, and then 30 for the Bucks. And it ended up just being a game where the Heat took some good hits from the Bucks. They was able to respond back. They was able to stay together. They was able to execute the way they needed to when the Bucks was even applying pressure and trying to make things difficult. And even though they had Giannis, he was able to get his. He was able to score. They needed other guys, especially in that starting lineup, to play a lot more better. Even though the Heat had a lot of people out, they still was able to play real well. Good coaches going at it, but the Heat did a little bit more than what the Bucks could do. And the Bucks, they just crumbled under pressure too. Like they was figuring things out. They was taking their time, and they was really trying to find out what was working. And it was working throughout the entire game. They just couldn't stop the Heat sometimes, and also the Heat made some big plays. So when it was time for the Bucks to answer, when it was time for the Bucks to get the stops, they ended up squandering those moments while the Heat was able to thrive. And that's why he was able to win this close one and this one. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today with more analysis.